This is the future meta of marketing. If you don't know what meta means already, it's a term that I'm pretty sure it comes from video games. It means either the best or most optimal strategy or play style. So I'm gonna give you a video game example. There's a game that has a lot of different characters. The developers always like change something. They make some abilities worse and some abilities better. So at different times, different characters are better than the other characters. And the best characters at the moment are called the meta. Another example would be like weapons on video games. There's always some changes coming and going with the weapons. And sometimes there's a gun that is obviously better than the other ones, so everyone in the game is using it. That's what's called meta. It would be almost like stupid not to use it because it's so much better than the other ones. Back to the point, in order to find out the future meta of marketing, we have to look at the past first. So let's go through some of the most common ways of marketing that have been here for a good while. So the first one would be digital ads, meaning Google ads, Meta ads, and so on. And the reason why digital ads are so much better than old school ads is that with digital ones, you could start collecting data, which basically means collecting all sorts of information about the customer, and therefore it will be easier to target a specific kind of customer. So this way, let's have like Meta ads, for example. They already have like huge database and they have lots of data on all people, on like what they like, what they are likely to buy, you know, the interest and so on. So it's a lot easier to find perfect customers to buy your stuff. And then also it's easier to like split test different things, different variations of what works the best on the ad, different type of content, different type of text or whatsoever. And next common way of marketing that has been here for a while is influencer marketing. A good example for this would be fashion brands, which are really dependent on influencer marketing, and a huge chunk of their marketing budget goes into influencer marketing. And the main reason for this is social proof, meaning that when big celebrities wear these brands, people see the brands in different lights. Like if you're being honest here, the difference what makes with an unknown brand and a famous brand, if the product is exactly the same, is that people do see it in some fancier, more luxurious product because of the people who wear it. That's why if you look at fashion brands and the content that they produce is made into famous people and influencers and that kind of stuff, like they're pretty much dependent on that. Like if fashion brands wouldn't have these people, they will probably be pretty screwed. And I'm talking about more established, luxurious fashion brands. But yeah, either way, that's a really good example on why influencer marketing is good. So next we're going to talk about why social media has been good for businesses. And this is pretty self-explanatory. It's free organic reach. Meaning it's free to make content, and the more you do it, the better you do it, the more people you're going to reach organically. So yeah, this one is pretty self-explanatory. I don't need to dig into this deeper. Everyone knows organic content is good. Okay, now let's move on to the future meta of marketing. And we're going to talk about those past ways of marketing that I just told you about and how they have continued to change till this day and how they continue to change in the future and what kind of problems that will bring and how to solve those problems, which will be the meta. So first of all, ads. They used to be a really good thing a long time ago when people didn't do them that much, and you will get really valuable customers for a pretty good price. But the problem with ads is that they are getting more and more expensive. And if it costs you more to gain a customer than what the customer is paying you, that's not really a good business, isn't it? And the reason for this is that more and more businesses are running ads, and all the ads are competing against each other, so they need to spend more money. And next we're going to talk about organic content. And even though organic content is a really good thing to do, especially if done well, but same thing with organic content, it's getting more and more saturated and it's more and more difficult to get people's attention. So that's something that is definitely not gonna get any easier in the future. And the problem with influencer marketing that has always been is that it's a bit risky for businesses. You don't ever really know for sure what kind of results the influencer is gonna bring you, which is obviously not so good for businesses, especially smaller ones, which cannot afford to waste any extra money. Plus also same thing with influencer marketing, it's also getting a bit more saturated. Like before, influencer would like once in a while promote some product that actually makes sense. People would be interested. But nowadays, every day, like an influencer is promoting a different thing and they barely like know what they're promoting either. And it's so obvious, like people are not stupid, like people see through that stuff and they see that it's just literally just their job to like promote these things. So on average, people don't care about influencer marketing that much anymore, and it doesn't bring so many good results anymore because it's also getting saturated. So now we're getting to the main point, which is the meta. What is the meta? What if I told you there's something that is gonna solve all of these problems? All of them. And if that's actually true, wouldn't you say that would be the meta of marketing in the future? I think so. So what is it? It's called Clipping Army. And what Clipping Army is essentially a bunch of clippers, an army of clippers, minions. They either take businesses already existing content or create new content, short form content for businesses. And if they take the content, they chop it into small pieces, or if they create content for businesses, they create the small pieces themselves. And these are called clips, basically just short form contents. And one way of thinking about clippers is editors, specifically for short form content. And what these clippers do is that they post this content all over social media on the platforms that the business wants, and they will only post the type of content that the business wants. So this way the business will be in charge of what type of content they want, what things they want to go viral. They will get almost full control over their organic content. So with this, a business can actually compete against the saturated organic content market and saturated influencer marketing market, and compete with ads, because this is so much cheaper than ads. And also I bet that people like watching organic content more than watching ads. So this will basically solve all the problems of these three old marketing types. But to be real, all these three marketing types are probably not gonna go anywhere anytime soon. But this will just be like a huge add-on to it. So in the future, a company's marketing budget is probably gonna be spread all of these four. And obviously there are a lot of other ways to market too. But the budget will be probably spread through all of these, including Clipping Army. And probably the more time goes on, more of the budget is gonna be moved into the Clipping Army. You know, for the reasons, because it's gonna like solve the problems that these ones have, and the problems are gonna get bigger in the future too. So yeah, there we go. I'm super convinced that this is gonna be the meta of marketing in the future. And if you want to know more about Clipping Army, contact me, link in description, and check out my other videos about this subject. And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.